Hi everyone, it's me, Holly, and usually I would do my makeup and stuff for these videos, but I'm really limited on time, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this video because it's really important. So, someone asked me to show them how to sew elastic because I have had two very recent videos that require sewing elastic inside of a skirt, and I think I have other videos way back in the day sewing elastic into things, but I've never given instruction on how to make a ruffle with elastic, I don't think. So I'm doing this sewing tip number 3 on how to sew elastic. If you're interested, keep on watching. So before I actually do the sewing tutorial, I want to talk about elastic for a little bit. All elastic is not created equally. The cheap ones are not going to be really good quality compared to the good ones. I think most people who are watching this can recall a time where they had something with an elastic band on it, and when it stretched, it lose its shape. It didn't come back together again. So that's what I call recovery. You want an elastic that has really good recovery, meaning that after you stretch it, it comes back together again, it bounces back. If you have an elastic that stretches and loses its shape, your garment will lose shape, it won't fit right, and you'll look really, really funny. Also, some of you may have experienced elastic that when it stretches, it gets wrinkles in it and the wrinkles stay for a long time. Also leads to your garment looking funky and you looking weird. And if you're using a black elastic that's cheap, sometimes when it stretches, you can actually see the white the little white elastic threads inside of them from being stretched and it not having any recovery. So you want to invest in good elastic. Elastic is generally very inexpensive, so it's not like you have to invest, you know, $10 on elastic. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but I would stay away from the cheapest elastic band you see when you go to the store. Just go for the most expensive one because generally the cheap ones tend to be really bad. There are also different elastics for different garments. So if you are sewing underwear, then you want the elastic for underwear. I have some here. This elastic is really, really tough and it doesn't have too much stretch in it, but this is made for lingerie, like for underwear if you were sewing underwear up. And then we have waistband elastics. This is obviously made for a waistband. There's nowhere else where you would put this thick of a band inside of a garment other than the waist. Then you have your general 1/4 inch. I think this is 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, I don't know. But this is another elastic. This is a general all-purpose elastic. You can use this on the waist. You can use this on arm cuffs. You can use this on the bottom of pants on the ankles. And you can use this for ruffling effects. So I'm going to use this exact one that you see here to make the ruffle effect that I did on both my ruffle skirt and my scrunch skirt tutorial. And I'm going to show you how to sew this onto fabric that's already stretchy. You see this one, it like stretches really good. This is the best elastic, and I wish that I knew what brands were really good, but I really don't keep track. I just go buy the elastic, and if it sucks, I throw it in the trash, and if it's good, then I keep it, and I really never look at the packaging. So like I said, stick to the more expensive one when you're looking for elastic if everything else is the same. The tutorial, you're not going to see me, you're just going to see me sewing. So here's the fabric I'm using. It's a really beautiful mauve knit fabric, very, very stretchy. And I'm using the same elastic that you all saw me with just a minute ago. Now I'm going to pretend like this piece of fabric is the scrunch skirt. And the elastic is going down the middle of the back of it, okay? You just line it up. I honestly don't pin my elastic in place, so I'm not going to now. Press your foot down. You want to walk the first Oh, the important thing now is to make sure you get the right stitch. The best stitch to use for sewing elastic is the zigzag stitch. One, because it's good for stretch, and two, because every sewing machine has it, so it's a really good default stitch to use for stretchiness. Another reason why the zigzag stitch is really good is because it goes from side to side, so it's really good for securing your elastic band, especially when it's kind of wide like this one. Now, to start off sewing your elastic, you're going to walk the first few stitches. If you've sewn knit material before, you know it can be really hard to get the fabric past the presser foot. So go ahead and walk your first few stitches in there. As many as you feel comfortable with. Once you've got it in there, it should be good to go. Now you're going to go ahead and sew a few more stitches. Once you've got your fabric mostly to the end of the presser foot, you're going to stretch that elastic, and you're going to stretch it to the maximum that you can stretch it. And not too much at first, but once you've got fabric on the other end of the presser foot, you're going to pull from both ends. You're going to pull from this end to get the elastic to stretch so that your fabric will ruffle like that. And you're going to pull from the back so that you can get the elastic through the presser foot. Because what happens when you pull the elastic is that you prevent the sewing machine teeth under here from feeding your fabric through. So you're going to manually feed your fabric through with this hand back here, and you're going to create your ruffle effect with your hand right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go. You want to be really steady as you guide your elastic through so that your stitches don't skip and look funky. Gonna readjust. Go ahead and backstitch if you like. Now, this is what we've got as a result. So I'm going to show you from the top to the bottom what we've got on the outside. From the top to the bottom what we got on the outside. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Of course it's going to curl up because it's really stretchy. But this is the inside, and this is the outside, and that's that beautiful detail that you want to get on the back of that scrunch skirt. And you can even see the shorter area, how you can make a really cute waistband, especially if you want to do paperboy style waistband where you have the fabric coming out the top and the bottom part, or if you wanted to do a ruffle layers on a skirt, you could also do that. So this is the tutorial. I don't really have much else to say other than that. If you really have trouble sewing elastic, another method is to buy an elastic foot for your sewing machine, and you can pick those up on Amazon or eBay. You can look on Sewing Machines Plus, I believe is the website. They have a whole bunch of YouTube videos on sewing machine presser feet, and it's absolutely amazing the amount of things that you can do with your sewing machine with the different presser feet. So I hope that this tutorial was helpful for all of you. I hope that you all learned something, and if you did learn something, share it with someone else. And check out my scrunch skirt video and my DIY ruffle skirt video if you want to take what you just learned and put it into action. I'll see you all next week with another fashion tutorial. Peace.